Sahag Bhutana ji. Namaste. Welcome to the show.
Namaste.
So tell me, how long have you been going to the camp so far?
4 years. So
Fo-
ever since like I've been in third grade, I went.
Okay, so you're in seventh grade now.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about your experience with the camp?
So I like it's very fun. Like we learn a lot about like Hinduism, and then we get to like play and
Okay, so can you tell me, is there, what are some of the most interesting things that you have learned about Hinduism in the camp?
like about like the stories of how like the Kauravas and Pandavas like that. And then obviously the Ramji coming back to Ayodhya
Okay.
from the 13-year exile.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember hearing those stories as well. Um, so could you tell me about, so now that you're in school, how has learning about Hinduism helped you with your sense of identity going back into school? Does it help you with with anything in school, connecting to friends? Can you explain a little bit about that?
It's helped me like like I I like try to. It helps me focus more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, can you maybe give me some of the things that you do? Do you do any, do they teach you pranayama, meditation, anything like that?
In camp.
Yes, in camp.
Yeah, they do. They like we in the morning. There's a shaka every day.
Okay.
So over there we do all that. Yeah.
Actually, why don't you actually tell us about what does your day sort of consist of? You wake up in the morning, you do your shaka. Can you take us through the day a little bit?
So we wake up and then we do shaka, and then we do like games, and then we
Hmm.
like after games we eat breakfast, and then we come back to close shaka,
Okay.
and then after that we go to take a shower, and we go to our first thing of like learning, and then we go to lunch,
Oh, nice.
and then we learn again. Like we have another learning session, and then we do like a activity like arts and crafts, and then we have our final like learning,
Hmm.
and then after that we have like we get free rec, like 2 hours of just playing and doing like
Okay.
stuff with whatever you want, and then we have bhajans before dinner,
Okay.
and then we have dinner, and then after dinner we have an activity at the night like dodgeball or
Oh, wow.
town show and stuff like that, and then we have like a late night snack, and then we all get ready for bed.
Okay, that's amazing. So I actually heard one of the rules at the camp is that you're not allowed to have cell phones. Now, I don't know if so. Can you describe a little bit about that? Is it difficult to deal with that, or do you think it's helped you a lot?
I mean, I don't actually have a phone, so like,
Oh, okay, that's
yes.
good.
I mean, not being on your phone, then you get to talk to more people also.
Okay,
So
so it's
then,
helped you actually socialize with the other
yeah,
kids.
help you make more friends too.
Yeah,
Like,
that's amazing.
yeah.
So when you first went to the camp, do you see a lot of the same people that you've made friends with back then? Do you see them coming back to the camp as well?
Yeah, I see actually a lot of them come back because it's for them, it's like really fun.
Okay,
And
that's
then
good to
you have
hear.
a few that don't come back, but most of them do. And it's, like
Oh,
most of
that's
my
great.
friends do come back, and yeah.
And I'm sure you also get to meet a lot of new friends as well, right?
Yeah, I make like new friends almost every year. So
Okay. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? What are your interests? I see you have some sports things in the background, so tell me a little bit about what you're into.
I'm into like basketball. I like playing basketball, and then like I play football like with my friends just randomly.
Okay, that's good to
Yeah.
hear. Man.
And then I like playing video games and like yeah.
Okay, nice. So, finally, for the camp, what could you say if you wanted to, if there was any other kids around your age that were interested in joining the camp? would be your advice to them? What can you say that the camp will offer them that why they should join?
And they should join because like it's very fun. You get to learn a lot about Hinduism, and then
Hmm.
you'll make a lot of new friends, and it's just overall just a very fun time there. Like it's very fun.
Thank you very much, Sagji. So next, I want to move the conversation to Rishi Bhutada ji. This is actually Sag's dad. So welcome to the show. Namaste.
Namaste.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement in the camp as well?
Sure. So I'm over 40 years old now, but I went to the camp as a kid myself. I went for 10, 11 years to the camp, pretty much every year I could go. And then on top of that, after I got into college, I was a counselor for the camp for 3 years, and then I became a director of the camp. So I was a
Okay.
director of the camp for 3 years after college.
Okay, that's wonderful. So can you say the impact that the camp has had on you? Because clearly you've been going back every year and you also have your son enrolled in it. So I'm sure it had a huge impact on your life.
Oh yeah, I would say the camp. I mean, it gave me a lot. First, it gave me, kind of the educational background about Hinduism,
Mhm.
which was quite a bit. But also, it gave me a great network of friends. I have friends from camp still, even though it's been over 20 years since I've attended the camp. I mean, it's these friends we've stuck together. We have a fantasy football league that we do together. It's been a blast. And then also the camp provided me my first real leadership opportunity as a counselor and director. I really One of the things about the camp, the way we structured it, is that the directors are all youth. They're all about to graduate college or college graduates, and we give them the real leadership opportunity that they're the ones in charge of the camp. They're the ones making the decisions, and so that was I think a really an important experience for me and set me up to be involved in community activities going forward.
No, that's amazing to hear. So, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about, since you've gone to the camp for multiple years, how do they sort of structure programs based on the different age groups? So, like,
So
do you get more philosophical as you get older, or, and then when you're younger, it's more like, I guess you're just learning about the stories a little bit. Like, can you explain that a little?
yeah, I think that's right. I think at the elementary school age level, it's more about the stories and the basic foundational blocks of Hinduism. As you get older, the transitions into more of the philosophical concepts and kind of the metaphysical concepts.
Hmm.
In high school, they'll have serious discussions about various topics, not only current events, but understanding the philosophy behind it and relating Hinduism to all of that. So I have high school kids about Hinduism and about how it relates to current day topics such as like American politics and so on. And I've taught elementary school age children about the Mahabharata. So it's a wide range of things that have that that the camp offers depending on the age level.
So that's actually amazing to hear because a lot of times our culture it's limited to a religion. It's they trying to fit it into a box of religion, but it goes to many aspects. It's philosophy, it's physical development, it's martial arts, it's all these things. So it's
Mhm.
actually really cool to hear that you connected to current affairs. Um, so can you say when you got how did you balance kind of doing the camp activities and also uh, doing school as you were growing up? How do you think? What advice do you have for anyone that's thinking of joining the camp?
I mean, the camp itself is in the summer,
Right.
so it makes it easy. I think it's a good time to get away and go to the camp. And for parents, I used to tell parents when I was a director, go take a vacation during camp. We'll take care of your kids. So it was a way to do that. As a counselor and director, especially as a director, because you're planning for the camp even while you're working and so on. So that was that balancing that became an interesting experience, but I was able to devote the time to do that, and I think uh, it was always recruiting counselors, recruiting and all that. Nowadays we have more counselors applying for the camp than
Oh, that,
we have slots. Back then it wasn't the case. So
that's a good problem to have.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so what? I guess maybe since you pointed out, it's over the summer. What would you say to people that maybe to kids who are hesitant about, I don't want to give up my summer day vacations. What would you say to convince them about to join the camp?
If they're anything like my son, they get bored during the summer because there's not enough to do. This is the perfect way to spend 1 week, go meet a bunch of new friends, and learn about Hinduism, and it's a blast. It's a complete blast. Everyone, almost every kid I hear going to the camp loves it, and I'll just give one example. Registration for the camp every year, right now, it fills up in 5 minutes,
Wow.
and so it is that's kind of the reason why we're building this campsite, so we can hold multiple camps and every kid can go.
So actually, can you actually speak a little bit about that? How the transformation that you've seen in the camp from the early days of you going to like now we're actually opening up the new facility. So can you talk a little bit about that transformation?
Sure. So back when I was a camper and a counselor and so on, we would have to advertise, and we would have to, we'd make sure we'd have to spread the word and make sure everyone knows about the camp.
Mhm.
So that way we'd be able to fill it. One year when I was director, I got overconfident, and I was like, "We don't need to advertise this year. We'll have enough kids," and we didn't fill the camp for the first time. It was the last time we didn't do that, and
Oh,
so now there's so many people that know about the camp, and the population's so much bigger now.
mhm.
I think it fills up really quickly. But on the flip side, we had been renting a back when I was director, we were renting a Jewish community campsite, and then they sold it, and then now we've been hopscotching between campsites ever since. And so now having your own facility is going to be a giant transformational change for the camp and what it's able to do.
Wow. Yeah, that's really exciting to hear. I mean, so it's honestly it's like a new chapter in the camp, it's a new day. So I mean, it's good to see where you guys have come from and where you are now. Um, can you talk about maybe what your involvement with the camp is now as you're balancing your professional life and family life? What kind of involvement do you have now?
Nowadays, I mean, I would say my official title is camp parent, as in my kid goes to camp.
Right, right, right.
I mean, well, one of the things I will occasionally provide advice to the
Mhm.
steering committee if they ask for it. Really, at the age of 40 and so on, you recognize that you need to let the next generation lead, and so that is something that I'm more than comfortable with. And so I'm happy to have that next group, that next generation leading the camp. Um, Now with the campsite and everything, there's obviously kind of a need to get back involved and planning out the campsite, making sure we raise enough money and so on. So that I've gotten involved. I think this is the most involved I've been in a while to get back involved with the camp. But
Right.
um, it's a it's it's a joy to do this, to be involved with the camp. The camp has always been my one of those things that I will always be committed to, and I'm very happy that we have our own campsite now.
And so finally, one last thing I want to say is like, what would you say to, similar to the question I asked your son, what would you say to parents that are thinking about, where they're on the fence about should I send my kid to this camp or not? What will they get out of it? Like, what would you have to say to them to convince them that this would be a great experience for their child?
I would say even more so than the education, and the education is important. Don't get me wrong,
Mm.
but the biggest thing the camp provides is it provides, and if you send your kid every year, it provides your kid with a network of friends that they will stay connected with and be with, and it will be a network of Hindu friends, which is not easy even now, even with our increased population here, which is not that easy to come across, and it's a network that you can count on. And so for their parents, this is the best thing they can give their kids, because having having friends when you're older and an adult that have the same experience as you do is so valuable. And I think that's for a parent, that's the most important thing that they're giving their kid by sending them to the camp.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net.